Hello, good morning, friends. This is Shiva here again, and this is the part of sixth part of EWM video. And in today's session, we are going to see the inbound process in EWM. Let's move on to the EWM ERP integration part. So this is for inbound process. So in inbound process, actually, when it is connected to ERP system, and ERP system is a front end, ECC system being a front end system. So EWM will be the back end system here. So the purchase order with document type NB is created by the purchasing user or purchasing team in SAP ECC, and with respect to purchase order, the business user will create an inbound delivery with the document type EL and ELN, or whatever document type they require. And once that is created, so it will update the EWM using the QRFC through a BAPI trigger. Okay, and once that from EWM side, actually they will check the inbound queue. So from the ECC, from whatever message is coming as an inbound to the EWM, the particular user will check the queues, QRFC queues, and we have the standard transaction SMQ1, SMQ2 for that. And the in EWM it will be updated as a inbound delivery notification with the document category. INB or IDLB. So it is a inbound. So that is a document category is IDR. Okay, and we have, based on the requirement, we have multiple document category we already seen in the earlier videos, right? And each in EWM, all the document conversions, printing actions, everything, each and every action is controlled by or triggered by post process framing work. Simply it is PPF we are saying. So that will convert the document to inbound delivery with the document category PDA. And we have this INB, IDLB, all these things are available, actually already shown that in the previous videos. So once that is updated, so that will once that GR is posted for the PGR is posted in the EWM delivery, EWM for the EWM delivery, that will update the ECC through QRFC queues only. Okay, so we can see all these things. And you need the goods receipt will update as a material document in ECC side. Okay, this is a very simple high level flow. We have, I mean, when you are thinking about the selection of storage bins to be considered, actually we have the activity area. I already told we are grouping together the storage bin based on the activity we are doing. Either it is put away or a picking or a physical inventory. So based on that, we are grouping the activity areas. Okay, so that is point to be considered here. Next thing, actually, we are going to see the outbound process from outbound process. So, say the outbound process normally start with a sales order, and the user will create a sales order in VA01. And the outbound with respect to the with respect to the sales order, we are creating, the business is creating a outbound delivery in VL0N 01N, and the document type is LF or TAN. I mean document type is LF and item category is TAN. And once the delivery document is created, it will update the EWM through this QRFC, and it is initiated by the BAPI trigger through QRFC. So as I already told, during the inbound delivery queues, mean inbound process, in EWM, this once that queue sends that document, we can check, the business user can check in SMQ1 or SMQ2 queues. So the I mean, in ECC it is created an outbound delivery, and in EWM it is updated as a outbound delivery request, simply called ODR document category. That is what they mentioned. Category is ODR, and the corresponding categories, that is out B or ODLB, all these things, item category, everything. The corresponding item category document type, everything I already told in the previous sessions. And here also, whatever actions there is this is for picking. So this can be processed and converted to a outbound delivery order ODO with the document category PDO. So that is done. Yeah, all the actions are done by post process framing work. So this will take care of everything. So in the next slide we can see the PPF action. What is PPF and what is the functionality in EWM? So once the goods issue is posted, so which updates the outbound delivery and with the document category FDO. So that will update through the queues, right? Actually, the queues to the ECC, and once the goods issue posted in EWM, that will update as a material document. So material document is updated with respect to the outbound delivery. You can cross check even whether it is an inbound or outbound. You can check the document flow. We have that document flow in the delivery. You can check all the what is the sales order related to outbound delivery and what is the exact PGI for that. If any shipment, what is the shipment, everything we can check in the document flow in this delivery. So now let's move on to the post processing framework. What is post processing framework in EWM? So in simply, PPF is a flexible framework that is a part of SAP application platform, okay, and therefore can be used by other SAP products, okay. This is we need to bear in mind, this can be used by other SAP products also and various areas within EWM. So EWM is the main functionality. PPF is the main functionality in EWM which process all the actions taking place within EWM. PPF was developed to process actions for different output types such as printing, emailing, or faxing using smart forms, okay. And for EWM, it is also used for triggering or doing follow-up actions, okay, such as creating the warehouse task. For printing in EWM, the PPF replaces the output control that is used. For example, in we have the output type control in ERP warehouse management that is replaced by the PPF functionality in EWM. The basic purpose of PPF is to trigger the actions in the background. Okay, that is the main purpose of PPF is to trigger the actions in the background, such as such as we can have the workflow. So workflow also initiated by the PPF in EWM, or a customer specific user exit also controlled by PPF. The action themselves should only be triggered when special conditions are met. Okay, therefore here the PPF provides a flexibility to configure a system behavior based on the business requirement. The PPF provides tools for managing. The first one is managing, second is scheduling, third starting or triggering or initiating the action, and monitoring the actions that are already processed or that is taking place. The flexibility of the framework is its great strength, and due to its flexibility, the SAP EWM uses the PPF to perform various functions in EWM. The PPF is used within various applications, including delivery processing, shipping and receiving, and printing in the warehouse management. Thereby, example handling units in HU, right? Those printing or label printing also done, and then warehouse orders, physical inventory, that is physical inventory documents also to be printed. So value added services, VAS orders, etc. So it controls each and every action or activity taking place within the EWM. Aside from this, other than that, the form printing, forms, labels, and other documents, so can also be controlled. So the PPF is also used for such functions as a creation of warehouse tasks, posting goods receipt, even posting of goods receipt. Right? So that will automate everything. Actually, when once you trigger the PPF, so goods receipt, goods issue, warehouse stock creation and confirmation of warehouse task, everything can be controlled or posted with respect to with by getting help from the PPF functionality in EWM. So manual work somewhat reduced, and we can here in this page we can see the user interfaces for goods receipt process. So we have that functionality scwm underscore idn for maintaining inbound delivery notification, and scwm prdi for maintaining inbound delivery in ewm, and user interface for goods issue process. Okay, slash scwm slash odr maintain outbound delivery request, slash scwm prdo for maintaining outbound delivery order, and slash scwm slash fd to maintain outbound delivery. Okay, and user interfaces for posting changes. So slash scwm slash im underscore dr for maintaining post change request, slash scwm im underscore pc for maintaining post changes, right? Post change notice we are calling an ECC. The same thing we can achieve using scwm underscore slash im underscore pc, and user interfaces for internal stock transfer. Okay, slash scdm slash im underscore st for maintaining internal stock transfers. So these are some of the few interfaces which are used in EWM. Other than that, we have many transactions for triggering each and every action. We have arrow related interfaces. Lot of things are there. And in this next page, we are seeing the ERP procurement and delivery processing. Once a purchase order is created, the user will post the inbound delivery, and this will update through QRFC, and send the document will be sent to the EWM as and get updated as a inbound delivery notification. And again, actually based on the PPF action, the inbound delivery is created in the extended warehouse management. And once the PPF will control all the goods, put away or picking or post goods issue or post goods receipt, and that will update back through interface, that QRFC interface, and will update the ECC as a material document. Okay, MATDoc. Don't confuse. Actually, I'm telling MATDoc for simplification of when it's a simple of short name of material document. MATDoc in S4HANA is different. That is for material document table. MATDoc. Don't get confused. So the process wise for inbound from the ASN, okay, advanced shipping notification, or during the purchase order creation in ERP, an inbound delivery is created in the ECC. The inbound delivery is replicated to EWM and becomes the inbound delivery notification document. The inbound delivery notification document can be used, for example, to reject the complete inbound delivery. Okay, and via the post process framing work PPF from IDN, the inbound delivery is created. Okay, and then during this creation ID creation, the determination of EWM's specific settings is done. For example, warehouse process type WPT we are telling is determined. Okay, based on the WPT settings only, all these things are determined. Okay, the delivery related settings are very crucial for the warehouse process type. So the initial EWM warehouse tasks are generated from the EWM inbound delivery document. Okay, from the initial task, additional task may be created in the EWM based on the process and layout storage control, LOSC thing, right? Actually, process and layout. So LOSC, POSC are the terms. I hope those who already gone through EWM or new to EWM, they can easily can notice that POSC and LOSC. So if based on the POSC is nothing but actually, I will explain in the coming videos. But POEC in general, actually based on the process. Say for example, we have deconsolidation, VAS, value added service. Lot of activities are there. So all these things, based on that, if you are setting the EWM setup, then it is a process controlled layout. Okay, POEC. And process oriented storage control. And if it is layout means, say for example, based on the say for example, if particular storage bin is appeared in that high rack storage, or this section is to be available near to the picking point, like that. If you are based on the layout means based on the facility or business design, then it is a layout oriented storage control, LOSC. Both are very useful in the EWM process. Okay, we can see one by one. This one, this part they are saying. Using master data and customizing setting, EWM determines the put away path, okay, of each product being received. So actually, the product must go through this put away this path. Like that, they have the predetermined path, okay, for doing put aways. So product should under that procedure. The put away path can include movements to deconsolidation, quality inspection, packing, and value added services. Okay, and the physical put away path can be dynamically determined as the product moves through the various warehouse process. Okay, it's quite common actually. The product is normally moves through the various warehouse process, right? So package picking, packing, deconsolidation, quality checking, value added services. We have a lot of activities involved in that, which benefits of value to the warehouse. So now actually we are going to the important process called the warehouse process types in EWM. So the warehouse process type control the physical movements and postings in the warehouse. Okay, in SAP extended warehouse management, the warehouse process type controls the movements inside the warehouse, okay, within the EWM, right? EWM warehouse, the system process each warehouse process such as goods receipt, goods issue, post change notice, and repacking. Okay, so for all using such a warehouse process type, so we have the separate code for the each process: goods receipt, goods issue, posting change, repacking. We have different codes, so system can identify based on the code we are using. So a warehouse process type is assigned to every warehouse task document. So the warehouse process type has a various effect on creation of warehouse task. Okay, they both are interdependent. The warehouse process type is linked to the activity or movement which is executed in the warehouse, like put away, picking, internal movement, or posting changes. Okay, and also includes when necessary for simple movements, the storage type and storage bin from where or to where the goods have to be moved. Okay, that also determines. For more complex movement, it either includes a storage process, for example, process-oriented storage control, or warehouse order creation rule. Okay, the warehouse process type is determined during the creation of warehouse request document. So it can also be determined by the individual steps in the process-oriented storage control. Say here it is a inbound. So they have given 1010 for example. So based on that, it will determine that it is an inbound task. Okay, put away task. So here same like we have different codes that determines either it is a put away, or it is a internal, or it is a picking, that is outbound. So the destination bin or storage process is determined here, and here actually the here also the source bin or storage process is determined here. The replenishment or posting change activity can be taken place based on the internal activity determined here. So next page shows the warehouse process categories, describes the type of goods movement in the warehouse. The following warehouse process categories are already defined in the standard EWM system. Apart from that, we can also define the customized process categories also based on the business requirement. Here we are going to see only the SAP standard EWM process categories. Okay, we have the put away, stock and stock removal, that is picking, internal warehouse movement, and physical inventory. And fifth one is goods receipt posting, and the sixth one is goods issue posting, and then post change, and then cross line stock put away. Okay, and the warehouse process categories, that is goods receipt posting and goods issue posting, are used internally for the goods receipt and goods issue posting. Okay, and as already know, those who already worked in SAP WM will know about the Ethereum storage types, right? Say from 901 to 999, right? So similar to that, actually in EWM also we have the Ethereum storage types are available. So the Varos process type can include information about the source storage type and the storage bin for the put away Varos task, and it can contain the destination storage type and storage bin for the picking Varos task. Other than that, in SAP ECCWM, no dynamic storage bins are used in. Yeah, that's what. So, I mean, I can change that word like that. So, I mean, in only in SAP ERP we have this dynamic storage bins, but in ECC, I mean, SAP WM, no dynamic storage bins are used on this Ethereum storage types. Okay, but in ECC we have this Ethereum storage bins for the Ethereum storage type, but in EWM there is no Ethereum storage bins for the Ethereum storage type. This is a main difference. So here actually I showed ZR zone, GR1. So Varos process type is 1010. So it means it is a put away, and it remains a source storage type ZR zone and store storage bin GR1. Okay, and G for GA is a G. I mean they mentioned as GA zone. So Varos process type is 2010. It meant it is a stock removal. So destination storage type ZA zone, so that those are determined, and destination storage bin is GI1. Okay, and it represents hierarchical. Varos process Varos process control indicator. In this Varos product master, in the Varos data view, we have different views, same like material master. We have product master in EWM. We have different views for that. One among them is a Varos data view. So there is a control indicator for determining the picking or put away. So for the so that the process type determination indicator that can be used to group the products for which the same process type is to be used. So based on the process type determination indicator, it can group the warehouse process type. Say if it is a put away or stock placement, we have this indicator set in the product master in warehouse data view in EWM. Or picking means picking data or stock removal. So SAP EWM uses this product master data indicator when determining the warehouse process type during the creation of warehouse request document. And using the process type determination indicator, we can also determine the warehouse process types and how it facilitate different handling of products during the goods receipt or goods issue. Okay, and for example, products which are to be moved immediately, which are to be sent immediately into the high rack storage, can be distinguished from the material which needs to be processed in some way, like relabeling. So we have that differentiation in the category. Okay, so the next topic is the system determines the warehouse type according to the logic outlined below. Okay, which means that all the determining fields may not be required to determine the particular warehouse types. So in general, we have the assumptions for the access logic for warehouse process type determinations are: the item type is more specific than the document type. Secondly, the processing priority is more specific than the control indicator from the warehouse product master. And third one, SAP EWM always takes into account the warehouse number because the process types are identified specifically for each warehouse number. So these three assumptions are important for determining the warehouse process type. So the table is structured so that we can access as follows: all the keys fields are specified, document type, item type, or and processing priority are specified, document type, item type, and warehouse process types determination indicator are specified, document type and item type are specified, and item type prior processing priority and warehouse process type determination indicators are specified, and item type and processing priority are specified. And as a seventh point, item type warehouse process determination indicator are to be specified, and eighth is item type is specified. Okay, and then document type, processing priority, and warehouse process type determination indicator are specified, and document type and processing priority are specified, and document type and whereas process type determination indicator are to be specified. Only the document type is specified. This is the logic in the table. The warehouse process type is also determined in the process-oriented storage control and in work center processing. Okay, anytime a warehouse task is created, so there must be a warehouse process type available from the warehouse request document or from the process configuration. Because why? Because actually the warehouse process type always linked to the warehouse task, each warehouse task. So here actually we are showing, it is showing the warehouse process type. So we have warehouse process category 1, and then actually the activity PTWI. So all these things actually we are seeing the source storage type 9010, source bin GR zone. Okay, and these are very important settings from storage process. So I highlighted in yellow color. Okay, that is, those are important. Availability group 001. So define control indicators for determining the warehouse process types. So we have, based on the process type, 01 for storage process active, 02 for VAS, E1 for PTDI repack. So each having E3 for count, E4 for QA, so E5 for all steps. So based on the business requirement or activity, we are determining the process types. So determination of warehouse process type. So this is again actually the same kind of assignment screen, document type. So it is an INB, means inbound delivery. So from this we can determine item category IDLB. So all these things. Process warehouse process type determination 01 or 02, E1, E through, like that. And then warehouse process type also there. Availability. So now let's move on to availability groups for the inventory management. So available EWM availability group determine an EWM stock type, replacing the ERP ECC this table 001. So next, mapping the storage location from ERP system to EWM. So mapping the storage plant and storage location to the logical system already defined, and then actually we have this availability group, EWM warehouse type. So yeah. So now actually we are going to see the direct put away configuration. So when warehouse tasks are created to direct the movement of a product from its source receiving location to the destination location in the warehouse. So if you know already the path, right? Actually we have the fixed path, then it is a direct put away process. Okay. So where warehouse tasks are created to direct the movement of product from its source receiving location to the destination location in the warehouse. The EWM system determines its location information based on the configuration tables in the system. See, one thing actually, whatever configuration we did is the table level or configuration note. Actually, based on that, only the system is behaving. And also, in addition to configuration, we have this master data in place. Both are very important for the behavior of the system. So the put away configuration helps the system to identify the destination location. In this topic, we need to understand how the system determines the source and destination locations in the warehouse tasks that are creating during the put away. So I just I'm explaining this sequence. So just we have this inbound delivery. What is a product name? Warehouse process type, that is inbound. Source location 9010. Then bin source bin is ZR zone. Destination location storage type. What is this? So it is asking a system has to check that. So it will check for the warehouse task. So warehouse process type is 1010, and based on the system configuration and master data, that is process indicator everything. So it determines the destination storage location. So and so is 0030, and the related bin is 00030010303A. So determination of source location from warehouse process type, determination of destination location from storage type, and section determination and put away strategies, and location information is copied from the warehouse task. So these things are actually important while determining the destination and final bins. Okay, so next topic is actually EWM system obtains a source location, storage type and bin from the warehouse process type is well known. It then has to determine, then the system has to determine the destination put away location based on the determination table in customizing. So inbound delivery, what are the important things we need to consider is warehouse number, document type, third one item type, fourth one delivery priority, and then product, then entitle to the product, that is stock type or usage. So each and everything actually will have a significant control on actually various process type, and actually each directly integrated with the storage type search sequence. Okay, so we have this virus product master, including process type determination, PACI, and then assortus rating, quantity classification, that is related to packing specification. So all this determines influence the inbound delivery. So from where the process types and related storage types such a sequence are determined. So we have storage type 0050 and storage. So whatever storage type, based on this the parameters only and the configuration settings and master data, it is determining the final bin. Then actually the first step in determining the destination location is the determination of destination storage type. To do this, system obtains the information from the inbound delivery document so as to entail the dispose, stock type or usage, warehouse product master, put away, that is put away control indicator, hazardous substances master data, that is for hazardous material, and a packing specification to determine the storage type search sequence. Okay, and storage type search sequence code contains a list of storage types that can be searched for the bin. The system assigns the first storage type in the determined storage type search sequence. Okay, and if the storage type determined, right, so as determined contains more than one storage section, the system will then proceed to determine the storage section to be assigned in the destination location. Okay, that's a question of interest. Okay, storage section, that's the important thing. If the storage type determined contains more than one storage section, okay, we have fast and the medium. The system will then proceed to determine the storage section to be assigned to the destination location. Okay, so this influence the storage section. So if particular first bin is not determined, then actually it will skip that and it will go for the next selection. Okay, next selection for the bin. So it again will check for the storage bin type and then product master data, source storage type, everything. That's what they are saying. If after checking all the bins in the determined storage type and section, if the system cannot locate the suitable bin, it will go for the next section and search there. If all the bins have been searched in the storage type, the system will then assign the next storage type in the storage type search sequence, like that. Same thing actually. First it will check for the assigned bins in the storage type 1. If not, then actually it will go for, if everything is completed, then actually it will go for the next storage type search, and it will check the corresponding assignment of bins to the second storage type. Like on it will go till the final storage type to be determined. We can also assign the storage bin type to the warehouse product master. So the system will search the bins within the storage type and the section that have this bin type. That is quite important and easy to determine. We have this customizing table that can be used to determine alternate bin types if the particular bin cannot be found using the storage bin type in the product warehouse product machine. So we have alternative for all the warehouse architectures. So there is no problem for that. Okay. So it will be in sequence. Define storage types or sequence for the put away. So we need to define the storage type such a sequence. So which one is first and corresponding bins to be determined. If first bin storage type is over, which storage type to comes to next, and the corresponding storage bin assigned to that. So like that we have this such a sequence for put away, and second assign storage type to storage type such a sequence. Okay, so the same like EWM. Sorry, same like the. So define put away control indicator PASI. So the screen shows the PASI, and then specific storage type sequence for the put away. So in what sequence it to be, we need to check that. So search the sequence this one. So optimize access strategy for storage type search for put away. So put away strategy, process type, quantity, so all to be considered here. So we have the certain selection criteria. Based on that, we can determine the optimized access sequence for the storage type determination at the put away. So we need to maintain PASI, the product master and tester scenario. So I just showed that steps how to check the I mean actually the I mean how the sequence is I mean storage type search optimization is worked. Okay, so I have given the step. So we need to include the PASI in the product master, create inbound delivery in ECC, look out for inbound delivery in EWM once it is updates the EWM through QRFC. So first actually it will create as a IDR, sorry IDN, and then through using PPF functionality it gets converted to ID. I mean I'm giving you the overall process. Okay, and then we need to check the warehouse process type, then create a task for warehouse request, and then check the destination data. Okay, so storage section search sequence. Okay, for storage section determination, EWM uses the storage section search sequence. Okay, storage section determination, EWM uses storage section search sequence. First, for storage type, the storage type search sequence. For storage section search sequence. This sequence specifies in which storage section the system searches for the destination storage bins. Okay. On the product master, in EWM material master, you can group the products using the storage section indicator SSI. I think already shown in the earlier screenshots. So that like products will be, so that the likable product like or group of products will be handled in a similar way from a storage section placement. Okay, for example, slow moving versus fast moving. Okay, in case so the storage section indicator is then used with other criteria such as warehouse number, storage type, and hazardous rating for determining the particular storage section. Okay, and it works as in sequence. So to set up the storage section search in EWM, we have this IMG's ProPath. I mean, I will also give I mean IMG's ProPath in a separate video. So here I just have given the example. So those who are interested to know which is ProPath I need to use means actually in Pro EWM goods receipt process strategy storage section search. So under this node, I mean IMG node, you can specify the storage section indicator, storage section search sequence, storage section check. So I just have given this what are the criteria. Okay, it will first check the storage type and the storage type. If not storage type 2, So one by one, actually, it will check one, two, three, and so on. Three, then storage type 4, like that. Based on that storage, then it will go for storage section check active or not. If your if the check is active, so it will go for next coming criteria. So hazardous substance active or not, so we need to check that. So based on that, it will check for the warehouse number, storage type, hazardous rating, storage section indicator, sequence numbers. So based on, finally it will depend determine the storage section. So if one is not there, then actually it will go for 2, 3, 4, so on. So define storage type. So maintain storage section determination indicator in storage type definition. This is required when you have multiple storage section in the storage type. Okay, that indicator is very important. Otherwise not. This is a storage type parameter definition, same like that our I mean W. So we have this storage section blank, no storage section determination or check. If X means storage type determination and check, Y means storage section storage type determination is there but no check. So define storage section. So same like our WM configuration we need to do with respect to warehouse and the storage type. We need to define the storage section. So just for the purpose, actually I just defined fast moving and slow moving, and then create storage section indicator to grouping to the storage section into one group, and facilitate the storage section structure efficiently, and determine finally the storage sections. Okay, and then maintain storage section search sequence. Same like WM, we need to define the storage type search sequence, and then storage section search sequence, storage bin type, storage bin search. All the same like WM, we need to define in ASAP EWM. So WM and EWM, the search sequence concepts have been more or less similar. Okay, configuration wise I'm telling, configuration not on the functionality. Functionality, there is definitely a difference. Maintain storage sequence. Okay, so same thing, storage section check. So no storage section determination or check, that is chosen blank, and then no sort of sub check. Okay, so how to test that? So just I have given, actually created two parts in SAP ECC delivery and ship them to EWM. Maintain SSI indicator for both parts, that is CEC1 to one part, SE2 to the second part. Create IBD in ECC for both the parts. Look at the import delivery in EWM once it is converted. Create warehouse task for warehouse request, and then actually check the destination data. So log will show you the destination bin determination. We have this one pop-up will come that will show the log. So storage bin type sequence. Okay, in the next step, EWM determines a possible storage bin type per storage type. A storage bin type groups bins according to their physical attribute. Okay, based on the volume, length, or breadth, or whatever it may be. Okay, physical attribute. Say large bins versus small bins, same thing. The capacity or the size. On the storage bin type setting, you specify whether HU type is checked during the put away. If it is checked, then the bin type sequence is determined. Same thing. So define storage types. HU requirement, it is blank means HU allowed but not a requirement. X means HU required. Y means HU not allowed. Okay. HU type is we need to check. Same thing, storage type definition for the bin type search. Okay. So actually I don't want to discuss it deeply. So all the steps are given how to do the testing. So I mean, actually, here actually I completed my sixth part of the video, but actually still I know actually we need a complete example for understanding the EWM assignments, org structure, and then how the bin type or storage type search sequence or storage section search sequence or storage bin type, storage bin, passive, Varos process type, what is Varos process type, what is a Varos task, and all these things actually say each what is a PPF. So all these things actually we need to discuss in the coming videos in detail. Actually, the hope actually this presentation will be more helpful to each and everybody. If any I mean, actually I will definitely solve your queries, right, actually in the coming videos. Thanks for watching my video. Yeah, Shivakumar here.